Gabriel Jesus has decided to join another Premier League club if Arsenal don't give him a new contract. The Brazilian has fallen down the pecking order and is currently third choice behind Victor Gyökeres and Kai Havertz. Even Mikel Merino could be preferred over him. The former Manchester City man is also set to enter the final year of his contract in the coming months, which further raises questions about what happens next. Jesus' wish is to stay at Arsenal and extend his contract, but if that doesn't happen, he wants to move to another Premier League club. Gabriel Jesus wants to stay in the Premier League if Arsenal do not renew his contract, even though he is nowhere near the top of Mikel Arteta's pecking order at Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus wants to stay at the club. However, there has been no clear indication from the Gunners' hierarchy about a new contract yet, and that is not expected to change. Jesus seems to be aware of the possibility that he will not get a new deal at Arsenal, so he has thought about leaving the club. However, he doesn't want to leave England, the country he has called home since joining Manchester City in 2017. That's according to Bruno Andrade, who said on SportCenter Brasil, his intention is a renewal. Arsenal, for now, haven't called him to talk. They haven't given him an idea about the future. Gabriel Jesus as well, he's confident, he's being used. He's not a starter, obviously, the competition is strong, but he has been important. If it depends on Gabriel Jesus, priority number 1 is renewal at Arsenal. Point 2. If he leaves Arsenal, the priority is English football, the Premier League. Jesus has publicly expressed his desire to extend his Arsenal contract, but that seems extremely unlikely at this stage. Jesus will have interest across Europe and even back home in Brazil, but Premier League clubs are likely to offer the highest transfer fees. Teams in Italy, France, Germany, and his home country are unlikely to match those financial packages. The only exception could be the Saudi Pro League, but it is unclear if a move to the Middle East appeals to the player. For that reason, Arsenal should not have any concerns about selling Jesus to a domestic rival. Andrea Berta's priority should be maximizing the transfer fee, and there are a few clubs in England who could pay a decent figure. That would be the best thing for all parties involved. Gabriel Jesus has made the surprising claim that Gabriel Martinelli is actually the best player at Arsenal, despite the performances of Gabriel Magalhaes or Declan Rice. The Brazilian striker has spoken very highly of his fellow countrymen and admitted that he has long caught his eye. Jesus recalls watching him during his time at Ituano, and now even in Arsenal training, the striker believes that he is the Gunners' most impressive player. Arsenal have many very talented players, and there have been some impressive individual campaigns. However, Jesus believes that Martinelli is the best at the club. Gabriel Jesus has just named Gabriel Martinelli as Arsenal's most talented player, which will certainly shock many supporters. The 24-year-old has struggled to ever find consistency at the Emirates Stadium, but when he is at his best, his talent is clear for all to see. When asked who the best Arsenal player is, Jesus told Romario TV, "I think I'll go with Martinelli, because I saw him, funny enough, during the 2019 Copa America preparation. I think it was 2019. The national team always calls some youth players from certain clubs to train with us, right? There was a good young left winger. I said, wow, what a good kid. Then at the start of the season here, I saw Martinelli at Arsenal, and I said, I've seen this kid before, and it was him. So, from early on, I was already watching him play at Ituano. Some of the things he does in daily life, in training, are different. Usually in the game, it's about what decides the match, but you have to see the player in training too. The details, the little things. Earlier this season, Martinelli became the first Arsenal player to score in 5 consecutive Champions League appearances. So far this season, the winger now has 11 goals and 5 assists in 42 matches for the Gunners, making it his highest scoring campaign since 2022-23. However, Martinelli is likely to be sold by Arsenal in the summer, with Andrea Berta on the hunt for a new left winger. The international break is finally over, and Arsenal returned to action with an FA Cup clash against Southampton. The Gunners' dream of winning the quadruple was crushed in their last game, when Manchester City convincingly beat them in the Carabao Cup final. The treble hopes are still alive, though, and to keep it that way, Arsenal must beat Southampton in the FA Cup on Saturday. Here's the team we think Mikel Arteta will pick to start the game. Arsenal have a lot of injury uncertainty at the moment. 12 players are either injured or are doubts for the Gunners' next game, which is at the St Mary's against Southampton on Saturday. For that reason, we expect plenty of changes from Arteta. In goal, we think Kepa Arrizabalaga will keep his place, despite his mistake in the Carabao Cup final. In front of him, we expect a back four of Jurrien Timber, Christian Mosquera, Ricardo Calafiori, and Miles Lewis-Skelly. Despite spending a while on the sidelines due to injury, reports have revealed that Timber is hoping to return to the side for the game against Southampton, which is good news. In midfield, we expect Christian Norgard to get a rare start as a number 6, with Martin Odegaard and Kai Havertz getting the nod in front of him. Like Timber, it has been claimed that Odegaard is eyeing a comeback in the Southampton clash. In attack, we think Arteta will start Gabriel Martinelli on the left, Gabriel Jesus up top, and Max Daumann on the right wing. Arsenal should not take Southampton lightly. Arsenal will go into the game against Southampton as the favourites, and rightly so. That is always the case when a Premier League side takes on a club currently in the Championship, but the Gunners cannot be complacent. Southampton are on an incredible run at the moment. They are unbeaten in their last 14 games in all competitions, which is very impressive. Furthermore, the game is at the St Mary's, and we all know Arsenal struggles in that ground. The North Londoners have only won 3 of their last 8 fixtures there. That makes the game on Saturday a tricky one, but if Arsenal take it seriously, they should come away with a win.